I am doing something different. Hi, it's Myesha, and I am doing something a little bit different. I'd like to create a space for me to be my authentically raw self, to come and share, kind of like a video diary of my experiences. Today is October 1st. It's a wonderful day because it's the first day of the last quarter of this year, and this year has been monumental. There has been significant highs and lows and everything in between. And I feel myself shifting. I feel myself changing. And it's like the layers have to come off. And that is uncomfortable. It makes me emotional. The version of me that got me to this place has to die. And I would love for there to be a life where growth is not required. But that's just not possible. We are evolving people. And I'm in the middle of another evolution. So this last quarter of the year, I'll have some strong, some big goals. I want to become the best version of me. There's a lot of things that I've been dreaming about since I was a little girl. And right now, I'm able to go after it. And that takes a tremendous amount of courage and strength to not have everything that I've had all these years and to go out into the unknown. It's just, wow. And I thought it would be so wonderful to leave this part of the journey for others to see and to wrestle and to toil, and for them also to see the humanity in my journey, see where they can relate. Everything I do is both to experience and to leave the breadcrumbs, to leave the trail, to leave the blueprint. Every painful experience I've tried to give it to somebody else and say, listen, you are going through this now. You will be okay. The evolution process is not easy, and yet is necessary. So I'm here today to talk about changing, shifting, wrestling, being uncomfortable. I got a lot of exciting things happening. I just lost weight. I'm super excited about that. I'm losing 10 more pounds. I would love to have some people on the journey with me. It gets a little lonely here. And I am going after some big goals of mine. I have wanted to write another book. I have wanted to travel around the world with groups of people. I have wanted to do a ton of things. And it's like, now is the time. I got to figure out what my life looks like. For real. Not online, but every single day. What am I going to give my hands to? What meaningful work am I going to be a part of? How am I going to help others? How am I going to use my talents, time, my treasures, my experience for the greater good? And I'm asking myself this question at 40 years old. You may be watching and saying, you know what you want to do. You know what you're good at. You know your purpose. You know all these things. And it's like, do I? A part of me feels childlike because I'm open to exploring, well, what could it be? I know what I have been, and I know how useful that's been. I know what God put me on this earth to do. But what would it look like to do the same thing in a new way? What would it look like to do the same thing in a new way? My personal mission is to heal and help people through speaking, writing, experiences, music. However, that can come about a lot of different ways. So in this moment, in my reflection over this next 90 days, I'm saying, how do you want to live? Where do you want to start? How do you become the next version of yourself? And how does that change your life? What do you have to have in place? What's the next step? How do you do this? And I don't know. I'm figuring it out as I go. Overall, I'm very, very happy about where things are. I'm excited about the future. And I'm a tad bit nervous because it's go time. It's go time. And I would love for us to wrestle together with what that means. How do we put all the pieces together? How does one start their entire life over at 40 and become the best version of themselves? How does one alchemize pain into purpose in a meaningful way, in real time? I want to see what it looks like in this iteration. And I hope you're here for the journey. So you let me know, what are you wrestling with in this moment? What feels safe and what feels good and what feels questionable and scary? How are you processing everything that's happening in your life? And what are you doing to move to the next right step? So a part of me doing that is showing up today completely vulnerable. No makeup, no extras, no programming, just human to human, person to person. This is my video diary